I just stand like this at the point, does that work? X is out. X is out. I got told.
Which map are they showing?
You got to be on these X's. No one in the middle of this. And then once
So am I in,
then slide
Frank?
in.
Sure, thanks.
So when the sheriff will say everything, then get right into the middle. You're the one walking up. So okay. He goes up, and the sheriff goes up, and you guys all squeeze in to the center. Okay.
Could you do the sheriff over to the right a little bit? Just X to the right.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't say so. You gotta stay on. Yep, that X and that X on the outside so you can see the map so we can talk about it. Okay. Do you want me to zoom in on it? Okay, sorry. Are you ready for me to start live?
Test 1 2 3 on the microphones. Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. This is a test on the microphone. 1 2 3. Good morning. This is the 10 a.m. press conference here on the Kincade incident in Sonoma County. My name is Jonathan Cox, Division Chief and Public Information Officer with CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 6. Just to start things off, I remind everybody to mute their telephones in the room, and if you do need to have a conversation, please do that outside. We have multiple representatives behind us today. Please know that if you have one-on-one questions for them, there will be time afterwards for you to meet individually with them. Additionally, at the conclusion of this English language press conference, we will have a Spanish language version available, so should there be the need, that will be available after this one. Just to start things off, I'm going to give a brief update from where we left off last night after last night's press conference and just kind of set the stage. Overnight, we obviously saw the wind surface through Sonoma County coming from the northerly northeast direction. With that, we had fire activity that increased, spotting ahead of itself and burning into some of the closer areas to the more populated spots in the county. With that, firefighters made aggressive attacks on the fire, defending structures, as well as contending with down trees and down power lines. At the same time that the firefight was going on last night and continues today, we had the incident commanders at the command post throughout the entire night evaluating the need for additional evacuations throughout the area. At 4:30 this morning, additional evacuations were ordered for northern Santa Rosa, and that was based on the current and expected fire conditions. So now I'd like to welcome up to the stage to talk about the current weather conditions from the National Weather Service, Mr. Walburn.
All right, good morning. Again, so last night on the fire lines itself, we did get reported wind gusts of 76 miles an hour within the fire environment under those red flag conditions. The red flag warning does continue through 11 a.m. Monday morning, so we still have approximately another 24 hours straight of red flag conditions. In addition, in the firefighting world, we look at the humidity values very closely. The humidity values went down into the single digits, which is dangerously low for fire spread. As we look into this afternoon, we're kind of at the peak of the wind event right now. It's important to note if you're down low, places like Santa Rosa, Windsor, you may not be feeling winds quite as strong, but as you move up every 500 to 1,000 feet in elevation, there's very strong winds aloft. At the start of this press conference, we were still getting winds on the order of 70 to 80 miles an hour up at 3,000 to 4,000 feet. So we still have another good 24 hours or so of dangerous red flag conditions. Things will improve as we head into Monday and Tuesday, but we need to be resilient as we look at, we have another north wind event or another dry event that's going to impact the region Tuesday night into Wednesday. Thank you.
Speaking next from Incident Management Team 6 will be our Fire Behavior Analyst, Steve Vollmer.
Good morning. Last night we saw an increase in fire behavior due to the winds that came through that the meteorologist spoke of. Those winds pushed that fire down into the 126 corridor and down into those communities. We've got spotting potentials up to and over 1 mile in certain areas. We've got rates of spread that are extremely dangerous at this point with erratic fire behavior. This fire, we know what it's doing, we know where it's going to go. The problem is when we have a new start, those new starts that we're going to get are going to be very problematic. They're going to have the same effects as this fire right here, the same rates of spread, the same spotting potential. If anything does start on the opposite side of 101, the west side, that area hasn't seen any fire history since the 1940s. So the fuels in that area are extremely dense, they're extremely old and decadent, and they're extremely dry. So we're currently modeling all of the fire behavior potentials that we can have for this fire that we've got, the Kincade, as well as for other areas in the surrounding location that could be potential problems.
Thank you. Now we are going to introduce one of the incident commanders, Mike Blankenheim, behind me. He's going to give you a quick update of the current status of where the fire is. So he'll be behind me on the map. Chief Blankenheim.
Okay, good morning all. So, just to echo what the IMET and the FN have talked about, we did see those conditions materialize about 1 o'clock this morning as predicted. When the weather showed up, again, as predicted, we saw the fire conditions that Steve Ulmer talked about. So up in here at 1 o'clock in the morning, the fire started making rapid runs to the south and to the west, and by about probably 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning had crossed 128. The fire right now is fairly well established on the south and west side of 128, in between 128 and Highway 101. It has not crossed Highway 101 yet, but it is starting to impact Highway 101 between Healdsburg and Windsor. So with that, priorities today are going to continue to be the west side, the south side, and if possible, keep it crossing Highway 101. If we're not able to do that, the map probably looks quite a bit different than what you saw yesterday. We built a pretty expansive organization on the west side of Highway 101 to deal with that if it comes across the highway and starts making a run into the communities west of there. We've got the organization built and staffed, so we'll be ready for it when it comes across. Thank you.
Thanks. Just so we can get the chief back to the command center, can we have anyone who has questions specifically to the fire operations right now? If they have any questions for Chief Blankenheim, now would be the appropriate time.
To what extent do people on the west side of 101 have to be concerned that this thing really could spread not only just on the other side of 101, but further in?
I think given the current and predicted fire conditions, I think very concerned. Like you can see the map there, we've built a fairly expansive organization and are staffing it right now and working with our partners in law enforcement, building an evacuation plan that they'll speak to here in a few minutes. So short answer is very concerned.
And just to clarify, the area of danger is between Healdsburg and Windsor. That's where you're most concerned about it jumping?
That's where it's currently impacting at. There are plenty of other places it could possibly cross that, but the current impact right now is in the area that you just described.
Okay, thank you, Chief Blankenheim. I'd next like to invite up to the podium the Sheriff for Sonoma County, Sheriff Essick.
Good morning, I'm Mark Essick, I'm the Sheriff of Sonoma County. It was quite a night for us. We have over 180,000 people under evacuation right now. Some of the evacuations that we added yesterday afternoon and through the night included the areas around Sebastopol and West County. And I could say that although I've heard some people express concerns that we're evacuating too many people, I think those concerns are not valid at this point. As we see from this report we just received, our evacuation of Healdsburg and Windsor yesterday was well warranted. There is significant danger to anybody who's still in the Healdsburg, Windsor area or the unincorporated areas around Windsor. So please, if you are in those areas now, we're still encouraging you to get out. We have deputies and peace officers in your neighborhoods. They can assist you. If you're not sure if you're in an evacuation area, we want you to check the map. We have plenty of maps available. You can get them on sonomacounty.org as well as some of the CAL FIRE websites. We currently have over 262 peace officers in the field, and those are supplemented also by the National Guard. We are using our peace officers and the National Guard to maintain checkpoints for evacuation areas, and we're also having that strong police presence there to really assure people that if they have evacuated, their property, their homes will be safe. We've not had any reports of looting at this point, and as far as I'm concerned, We're going to take a very aggressive standpoint on looting. We will not tolerate it, and that's why we have so many peace officers in your neighborhoods to protect your property. So one thing you can continue to do, if you hear our high-low sirens, we want you to be alert to that. We still have deputies out in the field evacuating, including the West County and in some of those expanded evacuation zones. So please, if you hear the high-low siren, take note of it. That means a deputy's in your area. You can go to that deputy or that peace officer and they will help direct you and give you instructions. The one thing we don't want you to do is we don't want you to call 911 with just questions. Our 911 center is very busy right now. We're going to use 911 for only really one reason right now in the evacuation part of this, is if you have a medical need or some medical inability that prevents you from evacuating, call 911 and we'll get peace officers there and medical personnel there to get you evacuated. If you just have questions about the evacuation process, please call 211 and we can just get you general information. Please continue to follow us on Nixle, sign up for SoCo Alert, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We are updating all those sources right now. As long as we have continued to have communications and power, we will continue to update all those different sources for people and we will respond to your questions. Sheriff's Office has been serving Sonoma County for 170 years. This is our strongest moment now. Our staff are out there, they're ready to go, and they're here to serve you. So please seek out our deputies, seek out our partners, and we will take care of you. Thank you.
And speaking next from the California Highway Patrol is Chief Noyes.
Good morning, everybody. Tim Noyes, Assistant Chief, California Highway Patrol. I just want to remind everybody, as the evacuations were going out yesterday, a lot of people were evacuating. You saw a great deal of traffic. We appreciate the fact that everybody was heading southbound. I do want to thank everybody because even though it was heavy traffic, we didn't have major incidents, and that really helped keep the flow going as quickly as we did. We still have a heavy flow this morning going southbound. Please continue to heed these evacuation orders. This is a major incident, and we're still bringing in additional resources, not just locally, but regionally. And we need these roadways cleared to move these. And plus, we have a lot of emergency situations, and the system's really fluid. So we're moving equipment very quickly back and forth. So if you have nothing to do with this area, please stay out of the area. Please keep the roadways clear. Early this morning, we did have the 101 closed. We were able to reopen it. However, I hate to inform you that as we are speaking, we are reclosing the 101 freeway from Arata to Dry Creek due to no visibility pretty much across the roadway through that area and due to heavy smoke. We are going to be moving a lot of equipment through that area, so please stay away from the area. And we will continue to try and keep the roadway as clear as possible. And for everybody else, just please keep using your patience and calmly evacuating like you have been in the area. The power's been out for a great deal of time. We still have a great deal of intersections that have no power. Remember to treat those blacked out or flashing traffic signals as stop signs. And for those of you guys that are stopping, don't assume the other vehicle is going to stop. Make sure that it's clear, and because we want everybody to be safe and get out of here as quickly as possible. Because every time we have to respond to something, that's that much more of our resources that are being tied up to help everybody else. So, thank you.
Next, representing the Sonoma County Board of Supervisors, Supervisor Rabbit.
Thank you very much. First off, I got to just say how grateful we are to all the firefighters, to law enforcement personnel, and to all those who have come to Sonoma County in our time of need. We know last night, in spite of our obvious concerns going forward, could have been much worse without the battle fought by the firefighters out there. It was a full court press they put on last night, and that remains the case as we speak. We know there are more resources coming to our aid here in Sonoma County. We know we are not out of the woods, and the wind conditions that were ferocious continued even today, as you heard, and the red flag warning remains in effect. We ask everyone to stay out of the evacuated areas. We ask everyone to stay off the roads as well. We ask everyone to take care of themselves, take care of your family, your neighbors. Public safety is our highest priority. There are new evacuation centers being set up as we speak. I can tell you that Napa Valley College is an evacuation center now. Crosswalk Community Church over in Napa also has facilities. The Marin County Fairgrounds is also open to residents of Sonoma County who are evacuating. And lastly, the Alameda County Fairgrounds is another spot where you can take large animals. So thank you for that. Again, public safety is our #1 concern. We need to let the firefighters be able to do their job. We appreciate the orderly evacuation that took place and the great job by the sheriff, but we need to stay safe. We need to stay vigilant. We need to make sure that you are signed up for alerts as we go forward. And I would recommend that you look at socoemergency.org, SOCO emergency.org, for the latest on evacuations and other emergency news from the County of Sonoma. And I also want to say thank you to all of our state partners as we ramp up more and more shelters with the number of people that have been evacuated. The cooperation, collaboration has been nothing short of wonderful. So thank you very much.
Thank you. In regards to the evacuation zones, the map you see behind me, the live fire map that many of you are streaming, does have the most current evacuations in Sonoma County. That includes zones 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Those are all currently under evacuation, and that is shown on the map. Moving forward, we ask everybody in the area of northern Sonoma County, if they are not in an evacuation area, to obviously have a plan. That includes what things they might need, such as paperwork, pills, pets, documents, and photos, should we need to expand evacuation orders into other areas. That is probably the single most important thing people can do right now if they are outside of an evacuation zone currently. We have 3,000 plus firefighters now out on the line. That includes a significant number of air resources. Air resources will be out there throughout the day. We have an air attack officer at higher elevation who's bringing in aircraft when the targets of opportunity present themselves within the realms of wind speed and visibility. And finally, I just want to say thank you to every member of the public who has assisted the firefighters by evacuating early. We are only successful when the public does evacuate, and we, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for evacuating early. That really does help our efforts. With that, I'd like to open it up to any questions from the media for any of the speakers behind me.
Can you repeat what area you talked about in the 1940s was the last time it burned? Can you repeat exactly what area that was?
Sure. Are you talking about the Hanley fire or a different fire?
Well, you said back in the 1940s was the last time this one area burned, and if the fire moves towards that direction, then obviously there's a lot of fuel there. I don't remember who addressed it.
West of the 101.
Right. You're talking about the west side of 101. Yeah, we can get you fire information about fire history. We do know that a lot of fires in California tend to burn in the same locations. The Tubbs fire was an example of that one, the Hanley fire from the 1960s. So we do look back at the last 100 years about where fires burned and how they behaved to try to help us in the current situation look at if the fire does get to that location, where is it likely to move.
Can you tell me if Calistoga is in any kind of danger? I've heard that there's some spot fires out that direction and there might be evacuations.
So that's a great question. We're talking about Napa County and Calistoga. Our liaisons and our law liaisons and all of our incident commanders are currently working with the surrounding counties, Lake County, Napa County. Specific to Napa County, I do know that they are working on looking at what the potential impact is on there, and if and when that decision is made, it will be broadcast.
Has the fire crossed the Russian River, or is it just spot fire?
Yeah, I believe it's just spot fires, but it is fairly close to 101. It's between 128 and 101 currently. Hence the reason 101 is closed, and the concern obviously is with that wind still pushing directly west, it jumping 101.
Talk about the area around Pitch Mountain. I understand there's some of the fire around there. The visibility is bad in terms of trying to get an assessment on that particular spot.
Yeah, so as far as visibility goes with the naked eye looking down from an aircraft, smoke can be a hindrance to us. We do have the ability to, once or or so a day get infrared up there and actually take a look at where the heat is with infrared cameras that look through the smoke. So that's done on a cycle, and obviously once that's done, we're able to see where more of the smoke is. I would say right now, with the amount of wind we're getting at higher elevations, we're just seeing the spotting issues that we have ahead of ourselves. As soon as a map is produced, you know, it's changed since that moment. So there's a lot of concern out there for the progression of the spots that we're seeing.
So the spotting that you see now can drastically change in an hour or two in terms of...
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, so a rough estimate right now is November 7th. Obviously, you know, we're in a little bit of a defensive position with Mother Nature at the moment, and that's always has the potential to change, but November 7th is our target.
How close are you communicating with PG&E during all this decision making?
Yeah, so we have a whole liaison shop on the incident command team, and those liaison officers specifically work with other stakeholders external to the actual incident itself. So utilities is a part of that. Okay, well, I thank everybody for being here. Just a reminder, we will have a Spanish language version at the conclusion of this, so if we can take one-on-one conversations and interviews to the side. This concludes the 10 a.m. press briefing. Thank you.